They got a win to end the road trip. The Edmonton Oilers 3-2 in overtime over the Ottawa Senators and wrap up the road trip 2-3. And hey everybody, welcome to the GCL Diesel Oil Stream post-game show live on location, Hudson's White Avenue. Huge thank you to Jordan, Sarah, Berger, and the entire craft here, Kenya, and the whole crew out here for having us. Kenya. You talking to Kenya?
Georgia?
I thought her name was Georgia. Don't tell her that. I haven't been here in a while. And thank you to Ginger and VR Montenegro for coming down, as well as Liz, wherever she went. She was just here. But it's been a good time on a quiet Tuesday, and the Oilers get the win in Ottawa. Tom and Belsey with you on location, and then you've got Benny Thompson back at EST Global HQ. You can text us 780-218-9999. We do want to hear your thoughts on tonight's Oilers overtime victory, and I should remind everybody that GCL Diesel is the provider of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. 780-218-9999. Nasty chat, do your thing. Belsey, they were looking good, up 2-0 going into the third period, and then two quick goals, and all of a sudden you're going, hey, what happened to like any offensive push, some sharpness? I know they had that one I don't even know if you can call it a flurry, but there was that one scramble where Savoie got robbed and then couldn't get a handle on the other one. But I don't know. I think you just take the win at this point and you go, all right, like we had some good things in this game.
Yeah, I think based off the way that you played the last three games, getting a win today is a good thing, and you got to look at the positives. And the way that they started the game, there wasn't a lot of fireworks in the game. There wasn't a lot of action in the game, but it was just a solid road game. And, they limited the mistakes that they have made in the last three games. So it was a lot cleaner than what it was in previous games. So from that standpoint, I think you got to take the win. I think you got to sit back and say, okay, like this is something that we can build upon, and you just move on from there. Yes, you lost the lead, but at the end of the day, you were able to overcome it. You ended up winning in overtime.
Jake Walman, the hero, his first game of the season. The clapper bar down after the failed power play. You noticed him a few times tonight. Nice that he gets that winner. He had the little shoulder shim.
When he had one of those like little.
I like the little
shimmy shake like that.
He's got some swag.
He's got some swag. I thought he was going to do a little gritty though.
He's saving that one for another time, I would assume. But
okay.
You did talk about him a bit tonight, and you noticed a couple of things. And it's not like things that were great, but you noticed a couple of things watching him play.
Yeah, I thought he was still maybe a little bit nicked up, and he wasn't 100%. There was a few times where he would let the other guy go in first. Normally for Walman, because he's such a fleet-of-foot defenseman and he's pretty shifty, he's usually the first guy on the puck. He makes a quick move, or he moves the puck, and he's able to help break it out as quickly as they possibly can. But I just noticed a few times on some of the forechecks that the Senators had, he kind of was a little bit hesitant getting into the corner. He ended up, scrumming it or turning it into a battle situation.
When he could have just picked it clean.
Yeah, he picked it clean and could have moved it. That was one of the things. And then just another one where he was sitting back on his heels quite a bit, and it allowed, a quick regroup from the Senators, and they're back on the attack. So, I think it was a good first game for Walman. There was a few things, and hopefully, he's just working through those injuries, and maybe it's just one of those first game back type situations.
Or he just wants to be sure of himself instead of go flying in and maybe, I don't know. I don't know what – it was an undisclosed injury, and to me, he looked okay, though.
Yeah, I thought he did a lot of good things. There's a couple subtle things that I noticed that, okay, well, that's out of the norm. So maybe he's just, feeling a little bit, maybe he's a little bit tentative, feeling his way back into it. But for the most part, he just scored a massive goal.
Great shot.
Shot it right at the goaltender's head.
That's
made
the first
him duck
thing.
Far down.
You're doing that on purpose, right? Either this one's going to rattle his cage.
I'm going to shoot this thing as hard as I possibly can. And man,
or maybe it goes in. That was a great shot.
Bar down.
Bar down. Jake Walman, first goal of the season. Hey, Evan Bouchard got his first point of the season, while Connor McDavid gets his first goal of the year as well. I'm going to read a few texts. So we're going to bring Benny in here. Coach Mike says, frustrating team sometimes. 15 puck touches before every shot. Second power play comes through. I'll take the 2 points. That's from Coach Mike. I said to you right before they scored, I'm like, Bellsy, it's almost like they don't really want to attack. They eventually get it to the net.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, I mean, we'll get it there, but
it's
not really going to go hard to the net.
Over the last, let's call it 4 or 5 games, where they're overly cute with the puck, and that's when you know that the Oilers aren't on. I've said it on this show, I've said it on Reed's show. When you see McDavid attacking, he's going at defenders. He's going full speed. He's decisive with what he's going to do.
Yes.
He's not trying to overhandle. That sounds so weird when I say McDavid's not trying to overhandle because his hands are so fast and he's stick handling 150 miles an hour. But the moves that he makes are so decisive, and then he knows the play that he's going to make. But when you're watching right now, it's like, okay, I'm going to touch this thing, I'm going to overhandle it, then I'm going to move it to the guy that's not there. And he's just not – it's not clicking the way that it normally does.
Yeah.
And that's why you're seeing so many extra passes when the reality is maybe you just got to get pucks on net like Walman did.
Well, it worked tonight, and usually that – creates good things is when you put pucks in traffic towards the net. I mean, look at the Ottawa Senators today. What did they do? That point shot, 3 or 4 guys stacked up in front of Stu Skinner. That was the equalizer from Thomas Chabot. The first goal, the Dylan Cousins one, where he got had a lane and he just snizzed one. So
yeah, and I mean, at the end of the day, McDavid and Draisaitl looked a lot better than they have in previous games.
It was because of Todd Colson. Let's not kid us. I'm kidding.
We got to start somewhere, right? So as much as we're harping on the fact that they haven't been the big boys like we're accustomed to, well, they took a step in the right direction.
Yeah, okay. Dirty Curdy says you still need some blue paint production, but not enough guys willing to go there. And then Dirty Curdy also adds, take note, boys. All 3 goals, quick shots, no dusting it off. Lucky to get the result the way the Oilers played in the third. Happy for Howard, Walman, and Rico playing his 1,000th game. Hyman can't get back soon enough. Nurse, brutal penalties. I've seen enough of Tomaszek. Just can't play with enough pace. That's from Dirty Curdy. We'll get to Tomaszek in a second, but let's bring in Ben Thompson. Benny, how you doing back at EST Global HQ?
Doing good, boys. Doing good. It was eventful game today, if that's a way to describe it. Not the Oilers' best performance, but probably their best of the road trip, in my opinion. It was it was a solid game. I thought the big boys were better today, like you guys were alluding to. Not perfect, but better. Just a lot of better performances from guys. There's a play that I think we'll get into later that showed me some promise. I thought Bouchard was pretty solid tonight. I'll say that. Maybe some people would disagree with me on that, but I thought Bouchard was pretty good tonight. I'm Skinner made some big saves. I think they probably deserved the win, even though they had a bad third. But overall, it was kind of just it was an all right game. You'd hope they play better at home against Montreal on Thursday, but yeah, it was a solid win.
I don't really disagree with a lot of what you said, and they just kind of go back to the. Hey, everybody took a step in the right direction today, and that's where you have to go. And yes, you gave up 2 goals in the third period when you don't necessarily want to do that, but you bent, you didn't break. Mm-hmm. And that's an important thing because good teams find ways to win, and they found a way to win.
Rip City Step saying Ullmark ducked the Walman goal because Bouchard knocked his mask off with a bomb right before that.
91 miles an hour.
Yeah, well, and you can see Ullmark was talking to the ref kind of laughing. But, I mean, you said it, Bellsy, before we went to air and then when we hopped on, just shoot it at the guy's head, see what happens. And that seemed to have worked. And Rip City Step seems to agree with that. Shaggy in St. Albert, 900. And I'm sure that's in regard to Stu Skinner as I check the box score. Skinner tonight, yes, 905. 19 saves on 21 shots. All right, a couple of quick texts here. Let's go to Big Dave. Says, Walman with the laser headshot to win was a nice touch. Proves what a shooting mentality gives you. Nice to see Bouchard get a point. McDavid and Howard get on the board this season finally. My big takeaways from this one were that they almost blew it being way too passive at the start of the third, and I know they scored one on the power play tonight, but that 4-on-3 in OT was downright pathetic. Okay, so actually they were 2 for 3 on the power play because Walman blasted that in before the power play had expired, so they got a little bit of power play 2 time in, I guess. And so it's officially a 2 for 3, but that power play on the OT wasn't particularly good. It was, again, too cute, dusting it off, going around the net with it, nobody wanting to take it to the net and shoot it. That's annoying.
The best chances they had on that power play was when McDavid just moved it to Bouchard, and Bouchard just had a 1-2.
Yes.
Those are the best chances. I think the one before didn't Ullmark fall over?
Yeah. He
fell over on one of the shots because I don't think he was ready for that puck to come at him so quickly, and then they just go right back at it. So those are the best opportunities that you had. You made the goaltenders move east-west, which is something that we've talked about repeatedly, making goaltenders move. And then, I mean, that's the Ovechkin spot. That's the line A spot. Those are the spots that the goaltenders or that players sit in, and as you watch that goaltender move, it opens up holes. So that was the best chances that they had. And sometimes when you're not feeling it as a power play, you just got to go back to basics. Just move a puck, shoot a puck. It's the craziest concept ever.
Yeah. But
guess what? At the end of the day, it worked.
Walman with the power play goal in overtime, his first of the year in his first game. The Oilers get the 3-2 victory. So they start the trip with a win in New York. They end it with a win in Ottawa, 2-3-0 on this 5-game trip. It is the GCL Diesel Oil Stream post-game show, live on location, Hudson's White Avenue. Tom, Sean, and Ben with you. Let's go to Duffman texting in 780-218-9999. Says, it's as if they are working for a tap-in rather than funneling pucks towards the net. Duffman with that one. Duffman, 100% agree with you. This one says, awful game by the Oilers tonight. Deserved to lose that one, in my opinion. Nice to see someone finally shoot the puck on net in overtime after the first until they pass it around for 2 minutes. Credit to Skinner on that big 2-0 save. Brutal D, though. Skinner's been sharp in the early part of this season. Pickard's been all right. Pickard's been good in the early part of this season. It's just been other areas of the Oilers game that have really let them down. I think it was it who had that text earlier saying they were done with Tomaszek? What do you make of him so far? Now that we've had 7 games of regular season play.
I mean, it doesn't usually. They usually say that 10 games is what it takes to kind of get comfortable. It's a different pace of play. You're a smaller ice surface. Players are faster. The play is faster. So you have to do things to adapt and to make sure that you can handle the pace of play in the NHL. The NHL is not the SHL. The SHL has a wide rink. It's heavy puck possession, and it's a very, very defensive game. If you don't have a play, Kate, let's go back with it.
All right.
As opposed to like getting getting on the forecheck. There's differences to the game, and it's not going to take you 5 games or 7 games. It'll take you a little bit longer. So I think we can't jump to the conclusion of like being done with Tomaszek. Well, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see where it's at. But we've also said he's not going to come in and score 25 goals. At least we don't think he is.
Tony from BP Westgate does.
He could. You never know. But
we're going to eat good there.
Let him just get more comfortable and let his play pick up and get comfortable with that pace, and then you can make judgments.
On a positive note, one guy who did make adjustments and did pick up on the pace of play and did convert his first ever National Hockey League goal was Ike Howard. I like the way Bellsy, I don't know if you saw it, they had the ISO cam on him for his goal where he kind of wiggled his way into the slot, and Draisaitl was waiting, and he kind of slowed himself up really quickly to give himself a little bit more of a gap. And then that opened up the lane, and Draisaitl found him, and then he just scored. I thought that was a goal scorer's goal. I feel like YouTube Trout probably squealed like a
very, very
schoolgirl.
Very
he probably cried like a 19-year-old girl at a Backstreet Boys concert in 1998 when Ike Howard buried that one. And to me, that was a goal scorer's goal. You could see the excitement, the raw emotion, big celebration from him there. I liked it. I'm encouraged by Howard. I still think, he probably is going to need some time in Bakersfield, but that's okay. He got a result today. And what can getting a goal like that, picking up a point and being clutch for your team do for a young guy?
Well, I think confidence is everything, and that reigns supreme in all players. I mean, when you watch Bouchard, when he's confident, he looks all world. When he's not confident, well, he looks different. Mm-hmm. So, you have a young player who's trying to make his way, through the lineup, and there's rumors of him getting sent down. And then all of a sudden he has that goal. Like, it can elevate his play and make him just feel like he's more comfortable. Even though it probably doesn't change anything, it can make him feel like he's more comfortable and therefore produce a little bit more.
Hey, confidence is a huge thing. Feeling it, being in a good mental state can do so much good for you, and it can lead to results. So good for Ike Howard, his first National Hockey League goal, in my opinion, goal scorer's goal.
Yep.
Well done, young man. Nice play by Leon Draisaitl. He will never, ever forget that moment. Big one for his career and in his life. Certainly, Matt Savoie getting a lot of praise I've seen in the nasty chat. And the inbox, I think Reed Wilkins pointed out some good things about Savoie. I know Benny Thompson has a keen eye on Matt Savoie. A couple of St. Albert boys there. I think they played hockey with each other or against each other or something like that. All right, Benny, give us the Matt Savoie breakdown.
We played together when we were young, and we played against each other when we got a little older.
Well, Belsey and I played against each other, and he would basically dominate everybody.
Yeah, that was kind of the same. Yeah. I was very, very lucky to be, if I was ever out there on the ice with him, I was a fourth line guy. He was getting double shifted, and whenever he got on, I got told to come off. But no, again today, another, I don't know. I don't want to sound like a broken record. It sounds like I'm blind to whatever mistakes he makes. Today was another great game. Like, he was right there with another great two chances on the same shift. When he got a top six look there with Nuge and Mangiapane, because I think Rosovic was going to the locker room. But he, again, looked great. Gets a secondary assist on the overtime winner. Again, you can see that the confidence is building with him. Even Howard today too, obviously scoring his first goal. But the rookies looking good today. They haven't looked bad at all season, but it just seems like every game they're getting more and more comfortable, more and more used to the NHL speed. And I've been a guy that's been saying you got to play this kid, and he gets 13.55 tonight. I'm totally cool with that. That's solid minutes for a young guy, and I could even see it growing as the season goes on. But yeah, Knobloch's trusting Savoie, and I see why. He's playing really well right now.
I can't argue. I like Savoie's game. He plays with speed, tenacity. I thought he was going to bury that. He got robbed, but he's been doing some really good things. And I think if he continues the same way that he's been playing, his minutes are just going to go up. So it's good to see.
I like this text really quickly. I'm just going to read it. It says, after Howard scored tonight, do you think he will be in the press box next game or in the AHL? And then in parentheses, it says, I'm being facetious.
Yes, I see that.
Yeah, that's why I said to Reed right away when he saw the goal. I was like, and that means he's getting sent down by Thursday. But yeah, my question of the day earlier, I just want to point this out. Question of the day, will Jake Walman be the savior and the reason why all the bad plays going on? I think we could say that he was the answer. And
yes, he was. Yeah, Benny.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Totally didn't say that question to be sarcastic or anything, but Barry's the overtime winner. I thought he looked pretty solid today. Obviously, it's first game of his regular season, so maybe he was a little rusty on some plays, but he's. What hasn't changed is his bullet of a shot, and wired it right at Olmark's head after Bouchard did so. So, it was a nice goal. I want to pump my tires on question of the day. But
good for you. You pump your own tires. Well done. Did you notice, too, Vasily Podkolzin was still on the Oilers' top line late in the game?
Yeah.
They love him. He grinds. He works. He gets pucks. He does what the big boys want.
That's a top six player right there.
Yep. All right, let's go back to some text here. Rip City Step says, never doubted Justin of Balgoni says, after tonight's showing by Howard and Savoie, I think it's time they settle each one of them with one of the big dogs for a few games. What do you guys think about that? Finally separated?
I don't disagree
in
any way, shape, or form. I think they should. Hey, I understand that McDavid and Draisaitl liking together because they go supernova. But, guys, it's harder to defend the Oilers when McDavid runs his own line and Draisaitl runs his own line. In the past, yes, they've been trying to find wingers to play with Draisaitl and or McDavid, but there's some pieces there. Like, Howard's a good player. He's a young guy. Yes, he's still getting acclimated to the league, but he's got the skill to play with those guys. And you brought him in to play with those guys, or at least at some point showcase the skill that you can play with those guys. And same thing with Savoie. Those are skilled players, and they should play with skilled guys, and at least give them a little bit of runway to see what they can possibly do.
Yeah, like,
this text comes in. Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Ben. Sorry.
I was gonna say Pittsburgh did that for a while. It seemed like Sid once the Kunitz and Dupuis line started to fall off for him a little bit, they started throwing Gensel with him. And then Russ started to come in a little bit. And then they just started throwing young guys on his line and helped, I think, develop those guys into players that they are today. I'm not going to say that's going to be the case if you throw Howard or Savoie with McDavid and Draisaitl, but it can't hurt, right? Like this team's needed a shakeup, and tonight still wasn't like their best performance. I definitely don't mind the look of either one or both getting a look in the top six.
Yeah, I agree. You've just been searching for so long to find, top six wingers to play with both these guys. You get Hyman back in sometime in November, and you've got a plethora of wingers. You've got Hyman. You could have Nuge potentially on the wing. Sure. You have Howard. You have Savoie. You have Roslovic. You've got a cast there that are all skilled guys that have the ability to go play with the top two dogs. So why not? Why not try it? What's the worst that can happen? They either light it up or they don't, and then you just go back to what it normally is.
Exactly what I was going to say. This text says, Knobloch keeping the lines relatively the same all night was the biggest shock of the game. Shout out to Stuart Skinner for his 100th career win. Yeah, I was kind of joking when I made the Pod Colson quip there. That was in regard to the line staying pretty much intact for the majority of the game. And yes, Stu Skinner does pick up his 100th victory in his NHL career. He is 100 wins, 56 losses, 15 overtime losses in 179 career games played. His career average in the regular season coming into tonight was .906. He had a .905 save percentage, and then his goals against average through those 178 games played, .272. So not bad for a guy who's on the cusp of turning 27.
Right?
Yeah. In 12 days, he turns 27 years of age, just in his fourth season, picking up his 100th career victory. The Oilers win 3-2 over the Ottawa Senators. They get the job done in overtime. Jake Walman with the OT winner. You had goals from Ike Howard and Connor McDavid tonight. For those keeping tabs on who picked up points, well, the first goal by McDavid was assisted by Nugent Hopkins and Bouchard. It was on the power play. Draisaitl setting up Howard, and then Ekholm and Savoie, the helpers, on Walman's winner in overtime. For the Sens, you had Dylan Cousins on the power play, his fourth of the year from Batherson, and then Thomas Chabot, his first of the year from former Oiler David Perron. Those goals coming just a minute 36 apart. I guess what somebody brought up the lack of scoring with this Oilers team and saying, is that a concern? And you and I and Benny, we've talked about it for the first half an hour of this show, is, why do they keep dusting it off? Why do they keep trying to pass it into the net? I don't think I'm concerned. I don't think my description of how I feel about the way they handle offense right now through the first 7 games is concern. I would say I'm more so annoyed.
Yeah.
Because I think they know how they should attack the net. But again, and I thought the power play in overtime was indicative of why I'm annoyed. 15 passes and nobody wants to shoot the puck, and you got time ticking and you're on a 4-on-3 power play.
Yeah, skill guys have the tendency to overhandle it and try to be extra cute. That's what it really sums it up. Like, that sums up the whole thing. And right now you're seeing that, and they'll get out of that funk and they'll realize, okay, they're going to start to make some plays. They'll be a little bit more decisive with what the puck movement that they have. And, 2-3 games from now, we'll probably be not even talking about this.
That'd be lovely. That would be lovely.
But in obviously the last little funk that we've had, they've been doing that stuff, and it's, it is frustrating. I completely understand it, but that's what skill guys do.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like I'm almost too skilled, so I might make that extra pass.
But it's like, you're so skilled, just do it.
But that's
You
what they
can
do.
do it.
Like,
You can do it.
well, think about the goal that Howard scores, right? We're seeing it on TV here.
Yeah.
So if he misses that, people would be like, Draisaitl, you're right there. Why don't you just shoot it? Because he could score from there, but he passes it. So he's handling the puck, right?
Yeah.
And he keeps looking back at Howard to see if he's going to get open, and then he finds a pass to Howard that goes in the back of the net.
Mm-hmm.
And we're all sitting there saying, man, what a great pass. Because
That was a great pass.
But that's kind of the point.
But Howard made a great play to delay a little bit.
But if Howard
give
doesn't
himself
score
space.
that goal, given where Draisaitl was,
We're going, why didn't you shoot it? I agree with you.
100%.
Because he had a lane and he's sitting there. He's not looking at the net. He's looking for a guy to get open, and he finally found one, thankfully.
Yes.
And the guy scored. Because
that's the issue that we're facing, is that he scores that goal because he's trying to find the pass. But if they don't score, we'll turn around and be like, dude, you're right in front of the net. Why not shoot that thing?
Very good point.
So
Yeah,
that's why I'm not going to. Skill guy's going to skill.
Skill guy's going to go.
Skill guy's going to skill.
Let's go to Calgary Glen real quick.
Okay,
What do you want? What do you want? Go ahead.
all right, fine. Okay, so the New Jersey game, both of you guys weren't working the pre and post.
Correct.
Bouchard made a horrible screw up on a shorthanded goal for Connor Brown. Nuge ties up his guy, and the puck's sitting there. And not only just myself, Joaquin, Hernan, and everyone in that chat was saying, you have to go either 100% forward to grab that puck, or you back off. There's no in between, trying to half go, maybe not, because that's what he did, and that's what led to the breakaway, and Connor Brown ended up scoring. That first goal today, McDavid's power play goal, that puck gets rimmed around the boards, and the Ottawa winger is chasing it on the wall. Bouchard makes a fantastic play, beats him to the wall, it goes head first, rims it right back around that wall. Nuge feeds McDavid. Goal. That's exactly what I've been wanting Bouchard to do all season. That's exactly what. I watched that whole play develop, and I literally yelled at TV. Reed heard it. He was still doing his show. And I was like, nice play, Bouch. And then sure enough, it goes, scores. That's exactly what I want Bouchard to do. He needs to do more of that. Thank you for my rant.
You're welcome. Calgary Glen texting in after Benny's rant. Calgary Glen says, a much better effort tonight. The Oilers are a much better team with Walman in the lineup. Yeah, I think we give credit to Troy Stetcher for busting his ass, doing everything he can in his power to be an effective, usable defenseman. You get a Walman in there, and Stetcher can come out, and it makes the defense as a whole better.
One's a top 4 guy, and the other guy's 7-8.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
This one says, I agree, Benny. Very good. And then Rico, 1,000 games too, which is cool. Well done to Adam Henrique. And I saw I think that was his family in the locker room before the sound wasn't on here. Was it his brother that they had in there?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
But they had some family in there. Yeah, that was a nice moment. I like the racing shirts that they had for him. They had Gene wearing one, which was great. And then he got the post-game interview with Gene on the broadcast. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I know a lot of people have kind of not turned on Adam Henrique, but it's not as an exciting player to a lot of Oiler fans as when he first came to the team 2 years ago around the deadline. I still see some value in him. Is he as speedy as he used to be? No. Is he going to put up 50 again? Probably not, but really, he's a pro's pro, and he's great to talk to, and he's very insightful and honest.
Yep.
And I think there is something left in the tank with Adam Henrique. It's just I think he's better served on the wing, and he's lasted 1,000 games in the NHL for a lot of reasons.
For a reason, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, do you think he's had to change his game since he's come to the Edmonton Oilers?
I think yes. The answer is yes. To me, it happened last year when they asked him to play third line center.
Yeah.
Because whatever risks he would take offensively, cheat offensively, or use his offensive instincts, however you want to categorize it now, I don't think it happens anymore. I think he defers to making the safe read and the safe play and backing off instead of attacking, and that's taken away from his offensive production.
Yeah, because when he came here, he was a point producer. Yeah. And you come to Edmonton, and it's no disrespect to him, but you're not going to supplant Leon and Connor.
No, it'd be nice if he complimented them a little bit more.
Very nice.
Or was given that opportunity.
Yeah, and in year one that he got here, I do think he did get that opportunity. Now, I don't understand why it never continued.
I know.
I think there was some success there. But he definitely has had to change his game. Sorry to interrupt.
I wonder if the coaching staff looks at him now and says, I wonder if they actively thought we're going to change the way he plays because he's on the back nine of his career and maybe he's not going to be counted on to produce offense and we can make him into a defensive player. I wonder if that was a conversation that they had and then put him into that scenario, having him third line center for the majority of last season, and then that's kind of where he's been at times this year, but the lines are jumbled up every game, only 7 games into the year.
Yep.
I think if you want offense from him, put him back on the wing.
Yep.
Let him do his thing.
I would agree with you on that.
100%.
All right, let's go to this one. Leon and Connor not moving their feet deep into their shifts, 15 seconds, then coasting, getting stripped, not getting back on the back check. Can they run their own lines? I think we know the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not their mentality to move their feet for 45 seconds and get off, it shifts to that. Time will tell, but they're not there right now. I think that's an astute observation from the texter.
Yeah.
Because they're just kind of out there. Yep, give me the puck. I'll button hook a little bit. Where's Leon? No, he's not open. Is there anybody else on my team that's open? Let's see if Leon's open. No, he's still not. Okay, I'll finally give it to someone from our team that's open. That's what it kind of looks like. And vice versa, when it's McDavid, that's the one that doesn't have the puck, and Leon has it. They just look for each other. And I wouldn't say concerned, annoyed. That's how I look at it.
Yep, I'd agree.
All right, text us, 780-218-9999. Benny, do we have any clips? I know, I'm just asking if we do. Okay. I know people don't love the clips, but it is good to hear some post-game stuff after an Oilers victory. So Edmonton 3-1, coming home to face the Montreal Canadiens on Thursday night. If you're the Oilers, can you actually say, hey, we've got something we can build on? Or is it just like, all right, this is a work in progress. It's good that we won, but we had a lead and we blew it. How do you think they would look at it?
You got to take the positives because you didn't play well for 3 games and you came out with a better effort. Yes, you gave up the lead, but you got to sit back and say, hey, this is something that we can build upon. Mm-hmm. So I don't like the way the game turned out in the sense that they gave up those 2 goals, but there was a lot of good things that you saw in the game.
Right.
The forecheck was better. Their defensive prowess was better. There was less turnovers. So there were some good things that you take out of that game, and you just, okay, yes, we gave up the 2 goals. See you later. Bye. We won.
That they did, Sean.
Yeah. So
that they did. All right, let's get to the turning point of the game, presented by Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists. You've got a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game at Advantage Sport Medicine. Book your assessment today, www.advantagesportmed.ca, or call 780-460-9977. Okay, it's not the game-winning goal. That's the Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy turning point of the game. It's what led to the face-off that got the guys that were on the power play off the ice and allowed Jake Walman and Matthias Ekholm, pardon me. I'm very excited for Janmark's return, evidently, subconsciously.
That, yes.
So Ekholm had the assist, Savoie the secondary helper on Walman's game-winning goal. But it was, like Betty was talking about, they finally, at the end of that lackluster power play in OT, worked it around and got a one-timer from Bouchard, hits Ullmark's mask, gets the stoppage. Those guys get off, and then they get some legs out there, and sure enough, Walman simply pounds one on net. It goes bar down. The Oilers pick up the extra point, get a win going home. So that is the Advanced Sport Medicine Physiotherapy turning point of the game. Getting that whistle from clapping a one-timer and knocking off Ullmark's helmet, only to have the other guys come on and finish the job. How does that sound?
I like it.
A little bit different.
It's very different, but I'm good with it.
Sorry.
Why is that, Benny? Do you want me to do player of the game now? Huh?
You go a little bit earlier. With the penalty on Stützle. Obviously, the 4-on-3 didn't look great, but
for a minute 50, they did dick all.
Yeah, well,
they almost got scored on.
Yes,
I know,
they gave up a 2-on-1.
But that changed the way overtime is played. When it's 4-on-3, the other team has to be way more careful about what they do. And I understand, yes, they had like some 2-on-2s and some odd man, maybe not odd man rushes, but rushes.
They had a 2-on-1 where I think Giroux decided not to shoot the puck. And if he does shoot the puck, there's a high likelihood that puck was going in.
I like Bouchard's defense.
And if he wasn't old and slow, he probably would have taken that shot.
But if it's 3-on-3 overtime, it's a completely different flow to the overtime, is my point.
But you know what? We're just going to call this the GCL Diesel Ben show.
All right. I'll take you guys off right now. See you later.
All right.
There you go. Yeah, have fun over there.
Yeah.
Anyway, the turning point of the game leads to the game-winning goal from Jake Walman. And that comes at you from Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy. It's Gazzola, it's Belle, live on location at Hudson's White Avenue. Again, thank you to everybody here for their hospitality. It's great to be back. It's been awesome being back on location. Boston Pizza Westgate, Boston Pizza Clairview, and then Hudson's White. We're back at BP Clairview this Saturday, and then back at BP Westgate on Sunday. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Sunday is Curtis's birthday.
Oh, that's right. It's going to get crazy.
It's going to be wild. You got football, you got hockey. It's not a 1 o'clock start. It's actually at 8, which is crazy. 2 8 o'clock starts this weekend after a pair of 1 o'clock starts. Well, one was a 1:30 this past weekend. Atif wants to know if the Oilers can bring in Alex Tuck from Buffalo if he becomes available. That would be nice.
That would be, that'd be unbelievable. But here we are.
That would be nice.
A lot has to go.
I like it. I would like that very much. I don't know if it's going to happen, though. But
what a player.
That's a guy I would target for sure. And he's been a good player in this league for quite some time now. So good question, Atif. Appreciate it. And I know we'll be talking to David Pagnotta on Saturday about that.
That's right. Yeah.
I think he'll get his weekly ask of Alex Tuck. It's called Hello Hockey.
Oh, no way.
Do you know it? Yeah.
I think I've heard of it.
It's called Hello Ben. Kidding. All right, let's go to Huntorio Momes texting in. It says, boys, am I crazy to think that a top 6 that contains 97, 93, 29, and 18 can't have 2 rookies on it and have success? Like they've been to back-to-back Stanley Cup finals. They have experience now. Let young guns ride with them. Have dominant 3rd and 4th lines. Now's the time for the acceleration of development. This was supposed to be Holloway and McLeod.
Yeah, like, I get it, but those 2 guys aren't here. Shouldn't even be in the conversation anymore.
Benny?
It's tough. I think if the Oilers could go back and make a different decision on Holloway, they would. Like that was obviously a huge loss that I don't think they saw right away, but it has panned out to be a big one. In terms of the young guys playing in the top 6, it might not work. Like you might be right. Like it might not work, but it doesn't hurt to give it a try. Like, are we gonna sit here and act like the rest of this offense has been fantastic. Don't touch it. Like I think we're all open to trying what works. And the young guys played well tonight, and they were some of the best players on this team. So I don't mind them giving it a shot. And obviously, we'll see when Hyman gets back what the ice time deployment is and what the lines look like. And I'm sure it'll still be a blender by that time because that's how it is here. But I don't see the harm in trying it. But it also wouldn't surprise me if they don't ever try it and they kind of just go, all right, well, we're going to trust our veterans.
All right, let's take a look at out-of-town scores from tonight. 10 games on the schedule, a busy Tuesday around the National Hockey League. Early part of the season, obviously. New Jersey, 5-2 winners over Toronto. Jack Hughes gets the hat trick, Belzy. And it's funny that maybe all the magic was gone after Vladdy wore Austin Matthews jersey because today the reverse happened. Austin Matthews wears the Vladdy Jr. jersey walking into the arena, and no go. Didn't work for the Leafs.
Yeah, just didn't have the same magic.
Yep. Pittsburgh 5-1 win over Vancouver. I know a lot of people were kind of surprised about Vancouver's start to the year. They are now 4-3 on the season. Let's move on to the next game. The Islanders 4-3 winners over the San Jose Sharks. Washington 4-1 over Seattle. Boston trailing Florida 4-3. Just over 20 seconds remaining in that one. 1-1 St. Louis and LA. That one 8 minutes remaining in the third period. 4-2 Anaheim leads Nashville. 9 minutes left in the third period. Then you've got Columbus up 3-1 on Dallas. 6 minutes left there. Utah and Colorado just underway. And that wraps up the out-of-town scoreboard. I'm just looking at some early season results. And some people were like, hey, Vegas is a wagon again, 5-0-2. Still haven't lost in regulation. Colorado off to a great start at 5-0-1. People were giving Seattle a little bit of love, but they're now 3-2-2. Edmonton is still 1 point back of Chicago through 7 games. The Blackhawks 3-2-2. The Oilers 3-1. Calgary off to a disaster of a start, 1-6.
That one is a little bit of a surprise.
I agree with you on that. I'm surprised. San Jose yet to win this season, 0-4-2. Not surprised there.
Definitely not surprised.
Surprised there. Where they fall again today to the Islanders. And how about the East? How about Tampa? 1-3-2 to start the season.
They're too busy trying to fight everybody because they got beat up in the preseason, so that's what they're looking to do.
Oh, it was fun to watch.
It was great.
Probably not good
More
for
of
the
that,
team,
please.
but yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
Utah 4-2 this season. They're going to be okay.
I think they're good.
I don't know if they're a playoff team, but they've been all right. Winnipeg, hot start. Jonathan Taves gets his first goal back in the NHL.
Yeah, great to see that.
Yeah,
great to see that.
Did you ever cross paths with him?
Yeah, he got drafted by Tri-City when I was there. He ended up not coming to Tri.
No, UND.
Yeah. Then I saw him at the World Junior Camp. I said, hey, man, what's up? You going to come? I'm not going to go. He goes, wait till you see North Dakota. I went to North Dakota, and I said, I see, Jonathan.
Captain Sears had all the answers.
Buddy.
Yeah. No, he good to see. I think he's one of the likable guys in the National Hockey League and has been for a really long time. Yeah, absolutely. In his hometown, playing with the Jets team that's off to a fantastic start thus far this season. Here's one from Andrew the Accountant. I'm curious to know what you guys think about it. Andrew the Accountant asks, what point do we start criticizing Roslovic? I know he hasn't had a training camp, but he has been invisible to me so far. Belzy.
10 games. That's my benchmark. See where he's at in 10 games, because first game he was actually pretty good. What adrenaline, because you're obviously in the lineup. You hadn't done the training camp. How much are you actually skating? Are you in game shape? A lot of different things. Then there's a feeling out process that happens, and then you start to find your game again, because you got to remember, how many games did the Oilers play in preseason? 8.
Yeah.
And then you add another 7 on. So he's behind, right? So he's about 10 games behind, and I think you got to give him a little bit of time to see where he's at, to get his legs, kind of get back into skating, game shape.
Yeah.
and then go from
timing
there.
and all that. All right, let's get to the Damon Bunting Real Estate Player of the Game. Damon Bunting, consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 18 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, or visit his Instagram at Damon Bunting Real Estate. Ben Thompson, take it away.
So I'm not going to go with Jake Walman because I expect him to have those type of results because he is, in fact, the savior of this team, like I was saying earlier.
Okay.
So we'll save his player of the game when he posts a hat trick or something. Thank you. Far too kind.
Can you give me one of these ones, Benny?
Yeah. Here. Oh, sorry, hold on.
There it is.
Yeah. Give yourself the Barry Horowitz pat on the back.
Pat yourself on the back.
Yeah, there you go. Very rewarding.
No, I'm going Ike Howard. First NHL goal. That was probably his best game so far in the NHL. Like you were saying, Tom, great patience to kind of wait out the defenseman's backing up. Gives a little stutter step to back himself up, get some gap to bury it 5-hole in Allmark. So good for him. First NHL goal. Looked pretty fired up. So he's the Damon Bunting Player of the Game today.
Yeah, but Benny, before Ike Howard even scored that goal, like Adam Henrique was playing in his 1,000th game, and I think he should have been the player of the game, brought to you by Damon Bunting Real Estate at that point. But if Howard didn't score it, probably should have been. It should have been Adam Henrique.
Tom, I appreciate the thought, but no.
I thought it should have been Paul Colson. He was on the first line.
There you
He
go.
was grinding for pucks. He was doing all sorts of things. He was getting pucks to Draisaitl and McDavid. That's the guy.
I like that one. I like that.
See?
Get you some, Benny.
In a roundabout way. Yeah, we're just teasing. We're having fun here. All right, before we look ahead to Thursday's game against the Montreal Canadiens, let's get to a couple more questions. Greg, the sound guy, with this one, actually he's texting in, says Connor is starting to look like Connor again, so I'd expect a bit of a heater from him soon. Leon looks like he is slowly coming out of his fog as well. Now, while I don't have any expectations at all for Yuri Dopita 2.0, where the heck is Frederick at? I've seen nada from that dude. Is there something I'm missing from him? Also, not to critique a win, but it sure would be swell to see an ounce of killer instinct from this bunch and finish a team when they have them on the mat. Thanks, boys. Look forward to your response.
I don't think they're physical enough. I think I mentioned that to you during the game. You'd like to see it a little bit more, but at the same time, like they've got other things to worry about, and A is not being sleepy in the game. So defensive miscues, that's another one. So it's baby steps. It's baby steps. Like I don't think you're going to get their A+ game right now. I would challenge you to find a team right now that's going to give you their A+ game today. Everybody in the league is trying to figure out what they have. Everybody in the league is trying to figure out where they're at. Are they contenders? Are they not contenders? Are they somewhere in middle ground? Do they have guys that they're willing to give up at the trade deadline? There's a lot of things going on right now. So, yes, hey, I would love to see the physicality happen right out of the gates. I would love to see that Connor's just putting up points right out of the gates, and Draisaitl's doing the same thing. And I feel for Oil Country because I get the frustration. I get trapped in it sometimes as a fan, and I'm like, man, I'm pissed. But then I have to go back and say, okay, well, it's like the first 10 games of the year. Like there is a bit of a process that happens, and I'm not telling you nasties. I'm not telling you people that it's right. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it happens. So here we are.
I like when teams have killer instinct. The Oilers haven't shown a lot of it, so I'm glad that Greg, the sound guy, put that up.
Yeah.
All right, Trent Frederick, if you're wondering, -1 today, no points, 12:04 time on ice, 1 shot, 1 hit, 1 giveaway. Did not take any faceoffs tonight against the Ottawa Senators. Okay, I'm just going to take another quick look at the text line. Here's another one, comes in, says, hey, boys, 97 and 29 have looked okay killing penalties, but I'm concerned that this will alienate the rest of the roster. Great players, but other guys on the team need roles and purposes. Tough to get motivated when you're sitting on the bench most of the game. 8 forwards under 15 minutes with Mangiapane at 15:10. Yes, Belzy.
Just looking at one of the nasty chats. It's that 83 runner, laugh out loud. Why do we need a preseason if we need 10 games to figure it out? Preseason's for scrubs like me trying to make a team. That's why you need 10 games to figure it out. Because when you go into preseason, how many games did Connor play in the preseason? 2. So basically for 8 games, he didn't do anything. That's why you need it. And then scrubs like me, I'm going to work my seeds off to try to make the team.
Did not expect that cell phone, but I think that's very nice of you, Benny. Or Bellsy. You just kind of, I guess so.
What else do you want me to say?
Well, they're going down to 4 preseason game next year.
Thank God.
And I think a lot of those, it's super boring. It was painful, especially those like split squad games are awful. Yeah. All right. Jeez. Let's take a look ahead to Thursday's game against the Montreal Canadiens. The Habs are taking on the Flames tomorrow. That's an 8:30 start our time. So if you want to do a little bit of a pre-scout, you can watch that game happening down at the Saddle Dome. The Habs 5-2 to open up the season through their first 7 games. On the road this year, they're 2-1, at home 3-1. And a lot of people liking the Habs going into the year said they have a lot of scrappiness to them. That's Benny's second favorite team.
Yep.
And they have a lot of good young talented players and some good young defensemen. I think the Oilers are going to have a tough night on Thursday night, but I think it's a winnable game. Like today was supposed to be a winnable game. The Ottawa Senators don't suck anymore. They were a playoff team. They gave the Toronto Maple Leaf fits losing in 6 games last year. The Habs are a playoff team. They don't suck anymore.
They're a much better team.
Yeah, exactly.
And you have to take them seriously because they've got some young talent that will light you up if you give them the opportunity.
Yeah. Benny, any thoughts on the Habs on Thursday?
Yeah, it's my favorite team, and I hope they come.
We knew that.
Like you guys said, they're a good hockey club. They're in they made the playoffs last year. I expect them to make the playoffs again this year, and I expect to make the playoffs for the next 5 years. That's how high on them I am on them with their young core. They have a lot of guys, but with that being said, they're also young, and they're not a veteran crew. So because of that, you could see some young, I should say, young actions, I guess, is the only way it's coming to me right away. Like, since they're not a veteran crew, they could fork up some losses where they shouldn't be, losing those type of games against teams, right? And when they go and they're going to play Edmonton, fired up, ready to go. But the Oilers are an older club, and with that, I expect them to take a win, handle business on Thursday. So, let's get to Thursday. Nice win today, but let's move on. Let's get a win on Thursday.
On Thursday, all those stealthy ninja Habs fans that are Oilers fans most times
are going to come out.
They're going to come out of the woodwork, dust off their Marty Ruchinski jersey and their Brian Savage jersey and their Mike Keane jersey, and they're going to be there. They're going to be obnoxious. They're going to sing "Ole, Ole, Ole" for some reason, and we'll see how it goes because it'll be a quasi-home game for the Canadians, which always tends to have. You have a soft spot for them. I know you played a little bit for them.
Heavy toss.
Yeah, you said your favorite jersey that you wore is the Habs
sexy jersey.
It is a classic.
Sexy jersey.
Yeah. Wow.
The Oilers jersey's sexy too, though.
Did you get to keep your Oilers jersey?
I do. I have a bunch of Oilers jerseys, but god damn that Habs jersey.
It is a classic. It is, and they don't mess with it. That's the thing.
They don't touch that thing.
You don't touch it. It's little things, the collar here, maybe a little bit changing on the stripes and this and that, but you leave it generally the same. So we'll get to see it. We'll get to see their road whites on Thursday. They need to go back to wearing the white jerseys at home in the NHL.
Yeah.
Then you can see the colored uniforms of the visiting teams, the classic Blackhawks jerseys, the Rangers, the Habs, the Golden Knights. I'm kidding.
No.
I'm kidding.
Do you like those Golden Knights jerseys?
I do, actually.
I don't know.
I like Seattle's jerseys. I like the Golden Knights jerseys. I like the classics. Toronto and Tampa look exactly the same, which I think is bizarro world. Okay, so we'll look forward to the Habs and Oilers on Thursday. I have some stats to throw your way really quickly as we wind things down here on the Oil Stream post-game show brought to you by GCL Diesel. Jake Walman and Matthias Ekholm combined on the OT winner for the Oilers. The last time two Oilers defensemen achieved this was March 5th, 2006, when Chris Pronger and Yaroslav Spacek connected on an OT
Another
winner.
happy Tom.
Yeah, absolutely. And then here's one more stat on the Walman goal. Walman scores the winner in season debut. Jake Walman became the third Oilers defenseman to record a game-winning goal in their season debut alongside Drake Barahowski, who did it October 1st, 1997. And Kevin Lowe, who did it October 5th, 1983.
Okay.
Walman is the first to do so in overtime.
Love it.
There you go. So some obscure Oilers stats for you as Jake Walman gets the game-winning goal in overtime for the Oilers. They wind up this trip with a 2-3 record, improved to 3-3-1 on the season, and we'll have a quick pit stop at home before hitting the road for another set of back-to-backs this coming weekend. They're in Seattle on Saturday, and then on Sunday, they will face the Vancouver Canucks. Those are both 8 o'clock starts, which is going to be just oodles of fun, especially on Sunday.
Oodles of fun.
Oodles of fun. Belsey, it's been an oodles of fun here at Hudson's White Ave.
I love it.
Yeah, big thanks.
Love it.
Liz, thank you for coming out. You want to say hi? No, she's too shy. Shout out to VR Montenegro and his lovely wife, Ginger, and then Jordan, Kenya, Berger, and the entire crew here, Sarah as well, at Hudson's White Avenue. That's going to do it for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream post-game show. The Oilers get the 3-2 win in overtime on a Jake Walman clapper on the power play. 3-3-1 coming home. We'll see what they can do Thursday night against the Montreal Canadiens. For Betty Thompson and Shawn Belle, I'm Tom Gazzola saying have a lovely night. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow right here on EST.